Hey guys, what's going on? I look a little scrubby because I just woke up, but this is week 6 of the Final Fantasy XIV Informational. I wanted to do it the first thing I woke up because I've been doing a lot the past couple days. And I have another controversial subject to talk about in Final Fantasy XIV, and that would be the subject of marriage. I had somebody ask me in my comments during the week about marriage, and you know what, honestly, not something I even thought about talking about. I was never, you know, big into, in-game marriages and whatnot, but I understand that for some people, it's just some way, it's just another special thing you could do, maybe with the person who's special with you who also plays the game, just so you could do it. Maybe you get a reward, like a Final Fantasy 11, you get a wedding band and you can share your space. I don't know about any other games because I don't research that kind of thing. But you know what? I went out of my way to research to answer their question, and I figure I might as well make a video about it. And marriage, it was a little. I wasn't expecting to find what I found, and then at the same time, I was expecting it. Um, One thing is that it won't be available upon release. Most important thing. The second thing is that there are no immediate benefits announced just yet. Since it's a future patch, probably a couple months after the game comes out. It'll probably they'll probably announce any benefits you might get when it happens. Um, what I told the person that asked me the question was, they said, do we get any benefits? And I said, it doesn't say there's any benefits. Uh, but I can imagine what people will do is people will, them and their significant other will buy a house. They'll save up a lot of money. They'll buy their own house. They'll furnish it with their own way, and those will kind of be their wedding bonuses. That's the best thing I can really think of. Uh, but I say significant other, and I say that because of the most controversial part of in-game marriages is gay marriage. They said they will not, when marriage is released, they will not allow gay marriage. And he said it was a tough decision to make, and that at some point later down the lines, if there's enough demand for it, they'll include it. But it kind of goes back to, it's the year 2013, and it's kind of surprising that we still have to have this argument here in America. That's still surprising that we need to have that argument. However, over in Japan, I don't know Japan customs very well, but I feel like maybe it's more of the influence of Japan than it is of America that's leading to that decision. Don't get me wrong, America's full of fucking assholes. Trust me, I live here. But I don't know about Japan's customs. I think that it might be more of, their customs than it is ours that is disallowing it. Because, I mean, come on, people are smoking weed in 3 different states now. You seriously can't tell me that you can't put gay marriage in a game. But I don't know what the demand is for that in Final Fantasy 14. I don't even know what the demand for it was in Final Fantasy 11. So maybe it won't be a big deal at all. But whenever you talk about marriage in the game, you always have to talk about, is there gay marriage? And the answer is right now, no, there isn't. So anyone who is looking forward to that, I apologize. It's not going to be in the game at first. Maybe if enough people demand it, it'll get put in the game later. The other thing I want to talk about today, now, this is the 6th week, and I've covered a lot of information in the previous 5 weeks. A lot of it spanning many different topics. Each video take about 10 to 15 minutes. What I want to go back and do now is I want to talk about the mistakes I may have made in some of the videos. And when I say may have made, I did make them. I found contradictory information later from Yoshi P, and it was more updated. And, I could just let it be and let the people say, oh, no, that's not right. But why do that when I can just update it? All right, so first thing is classes and jobs. Now, originally I had said that when you start A Realm Reborn, you're going to have to redo all your quests, every single quest. Now, that was how I understood it from Yoshi P the first time. He said there'll be new abilities, so yes, you'll have to start questing from level whatever again. You'll have to do quests over again. What I read later in a different interview was that, and this is a recent interview too. This is including information from the Nico Nico event. And all classes and jobs, minus Arcanist and Summoner, will be unlocked in Phase 3. Um, that's the first thing I want to talk about because that's another thing I spoke about. I said Phase 3 we won't have our jobs because the job quest won't be implemented. So how are we going to have our job ability? But We will, in fact, have our job abilities, so I will be able to show off all the classes and jobs, at least to a certain extent, since I won't be able to hit level 50 on some of them. Not all my classes and jobs are 50. So that's the first thing. Next thing is all the abilities you had in 1.0 will still be available. That's right. So you will not have to redo all of the quests to get all of the abilities again. If you did the 100 Fist quest, you have 100 Fist. That's it. Don't have to do it again. However, there will be new quests that you for abilities you don't have. So you will have to go back and do some quests, but they won't be quests you've done before. There'll be new quests with new abilities. So that's kind of what that was kind of a big thing that I messed up on because I said you'll have to go redo all of your classes and job quests. That's not true. You're gonna have to go do some of them to unlock the remaining abilities that you don't have. Uh, that's a big thing because that's a lot of time spent on other, you got to spend a lot of time as it is to catch up in a Realm Reborn, even if you were a 1.0 character. Now, I would have had to make you catch up even before you could do anything else. You would have needed to unlock classes, jobs, everything. That would have been chaos. So, the next thing I want to talk about is PvP. This is the last little thing I want to add in. This is a pretty short video. I've got some other videos I need to make, and I've got you know, ugh, so tired. Anyway, and this isn't really a correction. This is more of an update, and it's about PvP. Previously, I had said I didn't know how PvP heroes want to work. I found out how it worked. There will be PvP points. That's right. You do it. You do a battleground. You do a 4v4. You do an 8v8. You do a world versus world. You'll get PvP points. You'll spend those PvP points on PvP specific gear. I already knew there was PvP specific gear. I didn't know how they were going to do it. That's how they're going to do it. I'm just confirming this for you right now. But when PvP goes from open beta to launch, because obviously PvP won't be available till phase 4, then any PvP points people accrued during the beta, during the open beta, phase 4, will go. That's it. You're going to reset from 0. They don't want anyone to have an unfair advantage in PvP when the game releases, even if you spent a couple weeks in the open beta. So, that's all I really have to talk about today. So if you're looking forward to marriage, it won't be out on the patch. Classes and jobs, you won't have to redo everything. Don't worry. You just have to do a couple new quests to get a few new abilities. And PvP, don't get too attached to it if you're in open beta, if you decide to play it, because you're going to lose the point. Try it out. Definitely see if it's any good for you. But don't get too attached to it and don't try and cap out your points before the game launches, okay? So that's all I really had to talk about today. I'm gonna cut the video and I'm gonna start worrying about the other videos I have to make because I have to make a very sad review for another game today. And I'm not looking forward to it. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching week 6. Tune into week 1 through 5 if you missed anything, if you want to see where I fucked up with this information. And if you want to catch up even more on things like PvP, reputation, that's week 4, by the way. And then you have the Beast Primals, you have the Nico Nico event. I have tons of videos out there. Just go check out the channel, like, subscribe, favorite. Follow me at twitch.tv/MrHappy1227. I'll be playing Ragnarok Online 2 for the time being, if I'm streaming at the time. Or I'll be playing Smite, or I'll be playing League of Legends. I'll be playing one of those 3 games pretty much until May 21st. So hopefully I'll see you guys on my stream, and have a good day, guys.